Well, you have my comm link. Actually, he'll pull out another chip and say, private number. Go ahead and call me on that if you have something important, and I'll be sure to answer it right away. Um, Anything else? Feel free call if you have anything you need regarding this. Um, Bye. And he'll start to walk out again.
Once he's out, Twitch will hold up that private comm link and say, and now, if we don't get any leads, even if we don't find the girl, then in 12 hours when we get a call from those dwarves, we can arrange for there to be a bunch of Az technology goons out front at the same time. Or not.
Whatever works.
Options.
It's good to have those for once.
The moment Trusair realizes that the whole caravan of fun is leaving, he will snap back to his meat body, and like the apparently surly comatose individual will open his eyes and look at the team while sort of like haphazardly slouched in the corner.
I'm really tempted to yell. Oh shit, it's awake! Run!
You're just gonna imagine that instead, right, Aaron?
Yeah, it would have been wonderful.
Just like Sevalod blowing himself silly with some glitches. Anyway, Dracera will look and say, well, how well did that go?
Pretty well. Gave us a private line, a couple of pretty loose leads on the shapeshifter, and said that if we find anything else, we can call him up to trade in the information we found over to him. Which means we can probably, if we play this right, have a bunch of Az technology goons sitting out front if the dwarves get here.
Oh, well. Have a bunch of... Well, of course we're not going to meet with them again, though. I mean, you don't have anyone else to call or anything, right?
So apparently the Jaguar skipped town after running afoul of that corporate tool sister. She put a blood hunt out on him, probably offered a pretty hefty bounty, which maybe we want to try and collect that. And he's supposedly up in Sacramento. So I'm going to call up his sister and see if I can get some bounty information. It won't even look that funny because my primary sin is that of a bounty hunter.
Moment Twitch says, so I'm going to call up his sister, Trusair's face just falls.
Coyote's just gonna laugh and say, sounds like fun. He's given up. He's going along with it. Just hook, line, and sinker.
It's like, yep, okay. Sure. Whatever.
Pretty much.
Trusair doesn't even have an objection, and just in his head, like, I never thought this would be the day. I thought this day might come. I didn't know today would be the day. When I decided I hate my life.
So yeah, Twitch calls that bitch up.
let me, when you get this, there'll be an immediate request for a video call back.
Twitch should totally tilt the video so that it shows like her entire surroundings, including her friends, right? Including the sulking mage in the corner.
Actually, I was thinking of putting the video call through her eye feed. Just have her kind of stare off into the corner.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. I like that. That's good.
Or, I don't know, stare down at her own feet and hands. Nah, she'll use her actual physical comm link and do the video call.
Well, when you make the video call, you'll see a Hispanic woman. It appears to be a set-up camera, a nice suit. Very Aztec, very Aztelaner. Looks, well, ancient Aztec Empire. She's good looking. Looks, well, you can see the resemblance to her brother very clearly. The thing is, while her brother had this sort of muted expression across his face the whole time, even Truthsayer could see a sort of a muted aura about him. Like every emotion he went through a filter. Her expression is, well, we'll just call it grumpy. Yes?
I heard that there's a bounty on shapeshifters being offered.
There's a general bounty on untagged and unclaimed shapeshifters of various types in various countries. Is there anything specific you're wanting to ask me on my, considering you've gotten my private number?
Yeah, I heard that there was a rather substantial bounty being offered on a specific Jaguar shapeshifter in the greater PCC area.
Yes. Certain Abel. Do you have information on him?
Well, I was actually hoping that you'd be able to give me a little bit more information on the bounty so that I could move towards filling it.
100,000, dead or alive. I need his body as proof. Relatively intact. At the very least, I need the majority of his torso and head.
Might I inquire as to why this bounty is being offered? Is he some sort of violent criminal?
No, you may not.
I'm just wondering what I would be going up against.
You'd be going up against a shapeshifter. He's
Right.
a skilled fighter, magically active, various abilities that, well, not every mage likes to list his abilities for everyone to read down, and so the limit of what I can give you is, well, skilled hand-to-hand.
And do you have any leads for where he might be?
At the moment, no. From what I understand, most likely he's somewhere in California, maybe even north of California, somewhere in Hesteby's lands, dragon. But other than that, no real information. May I inquire who gave you this number?
Did we ever actually get his name?
You never got his name.
A contact who preferred to remain anonymous.
Her face will go from grumpy to almost comically grumpy. Like her entire face is just sort of wrinkled up.
I just want you all to know it's literally taking everything I've got to not say something to intentionally antagonize her.
Well, the token has now crept closer to Twins. Great.
Yeah.
Well,
If it makes you feel any better,
Witch that
Coyote
is
would have
talking.
already done it.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Well, it is you that are talking to her. That was in response to Grimith saying that it's crept closer to you.
Quick, do something before it jumps on you.
Did you have any further questions?
Yeah, do you have a tip line I could subscribe to get further information on this? Or are you more concerned with being secretive than you are with actually getting him?
I'm not really concerned with being secretive about this. That said, no, I don't have a tip line. It's bounty hunters. It's supposed to be you figuring out the information, getting him, and bringing him to me. Not the other way around.
See, I figured if you were, paying for information, you'd then be dispensing it to the bounty hunters so that they could get him for you. That's usually how that sort of thing works.
Well, if I figure out any information, if any bounty hunter decides to pass me along any nice bit of information, I'll be sure to call you and tell you.
Please do. Now please, don't let me take up any more time of your busy day.
Click.
Well, I could only hear your side of the conversation, but I'm gonna go ahead here and throw this out. How will this translate into Big A goons in another half day?
Well, we can easily just call up her brother, say that we found some sort of information. I'm sure we can think of or make up something and get him to send some of his goons over here to pick it up. And failing that, we're not really any worse off.
Truthsayer's jaw has now slowly unhinged so that he looks slack-jawed at Twitch.
Yeah, Coyote's just totally checked out. He's just like, I'm done listening to this. If we're gonna spontaneously combust, you know, whatever.
I don't know, man.
I'm not sure whether stringing along influential members of a subsidiary of S Technology would be beneficial to longevity.
Well, the only situation in which we would even string them along is when we'd be calling them in as the cavalry to keep us from being killed in a much more short-term way.
If you inform one of them that we have information we do not possess, that is a lie.
Yes, lies are bad, but they're worse when you tell them the people that can kill you rather easily. Or at least make your life a living hell.
Twitch will roll her eyes. Listen, I'm not saying it's like my first choice or that we should even necessarily do it. I'm just saying it's an option for if we're, you know, clearly outmatched.
If you're going from an outmatched perspective, we are clearly outnumbered even if we saw nothing but dwarves. Which, disregarding Coyote here, there's still 6 of them. May theoretically have a vested interest, but possibly won't. Now, I'm not going to lie that as technology would be an interesting fulcrum, and if any of them have eyes on this warehouse by chance, then we may have created an interesting scene. But I am unwilling to follow you into summoning a big A goons with information we don't possess at all when this has nothing to do with them and could easily come back on us even harder. There's a difference between having my life aggravated and agitated by little piss ants we dealt with 2 months prior, or having the resources of a megacorporation which isn't even legally present here come down on me.
Twitch will shrug. Alright, I just wanted to have the option.
Now you do. If ever we want to do anything suicidal, we've got our ducks in a row.
I mean, we're probably already doing something bordering on suicidal.
Having the play at the very least of the meeting may have attracted interest if by chance Conrad or one of his ilk does have an eyeball on this site.
Especially after we asked them to meet here.
Yeah, that would be a thing. In that case, we can just stick to our stations and have Vice ignore a call and see what happens. And he pauses. You know, if we're concerned about Vice's mom, if that's a legitimate concern, if if Conrad feels that she would be a means by which to manipulate Vice, and by extension the team, do you think if the call is ignored that they would go after your home first? Because if so, if they would go after the home and not the warehouse, that could be a way not to ambush them, because I wouldn't want to do that in your home, but to annoy them enough to want to come here anyway. Leave a message saying something insulting and
another
spiteful.
option is that, agreed. Another option is, along with that, if they do have eyes on here and we do answer the phone or leave them a message, we can say we're considering other options since they wouldn't come here. And so they can connect the dots to as technology. We don't have to say a darn thing.
Considering other options.
Well, we are, aren't we? We're not lying one bit.
It's fair. Yeah, Vice, maybe you want to set up some sort of display at your place saying something along the lines of, you tried to come for my family, I'm going to sell yours to as technology, or something, I don't know.
Blah, blah, blah. It's basically just a bunch of bullshit to get them angry.
Pretty much.
Not selling the as technology, but as Coyote wrote, I mean, he could set up a display. All you need is a fucking sheet of electronic paper that says, we're considering other options, and just leave it there.
I could do that. I should probably go do that. Just a sheet of paper, like on the door or inside that inside the house.
Work for it. If they're going to be so intent that they're actually going to send a team in there to handle your mom, then have them do a little bit of discovery.
All right, I'll go and I'll tell you what. I'll go put it on the refrigerator. You know.
Pin it up with one of those little magnets.
Yeah, it's like I used to when I got my report cards back from school.
Well, you know, it's a sheet of electronic paper. It might be able to magnetize itself to the surface of the fridge.
Yeah, probably.
But then it's not as adorkable.
That word is adorkable.
You're adorkable.
Either way, Vice will, should I head out now? I mean, I've got time, right? I should head out now, yeah.
Maybe, you've got maybe...
Still got time.
Yeah, you got maybe 10 hours before the designated call time, since it's like 5:30, 6 in the morning right now, and he calls you at like 3:30 in the afternoon. So you have time to do that and maybe crash and get some sleep.
Okay. I'll head there, put the electronic piece of paper, I'll put all that up there. Make sure everything's clean, make sure...
Alright, go ahead and type it out in the chat. What Vice will have edited on this sheet of electronic paper.
I almost want to put it, like, spelled poorly. You know, like, you-are instead of the correct spelling of your.
Coyote will suggest gently that perhaps Truthsayer oversee him typing this out.
I mean, I can. It's not a big deal. Whatever. I mean, let Vice write whatever he wants to write. It's fine. his house. Yep.
Fair enough. I mean, it's well, I don't know if he's typing it out there. Yeah, you probably didn't go with him, but I just Coyote's seen what you can do. You've got the gift of gab. He all he knows about Vice is that apparently his mom pushes him around. So
I don't think my gift of gab extends to putting words on a sheet of electronic paper.
Couldn't hurt. That's all Coyote was saying. But no, he didn't have that big a vested interest.
Trusair will, he even spelled his name wrong. That's great. That'll piss him off. Love it! That Trusair is going to remain at the warehouse, keeping station overwatch, flipping to astral projection to get a good look around the scene, remaining within the Force 5 ward, which will last for, a long while still. Keep an eye on things while the drones keep an eye out on the meat world. And rest and bide time.
While Vice is back in his place, he's going to gather up his equipment, mostly his armored jacket and stuff like that. He hasn't been wearing that. He's wearing
You cut out there.
What? Did you guys not hear me?
I heard you just fine.
I heard you.
Oh, I heard him say while Vice is in his place is gonna...
Well, while Vice is in his place, he's gonna pick up his stuff that he thinks is useful. Mostly his armor and... I don't know. Mostly his armor. Yeah. And then after everything is the way it's supposed to be, he's gonna drive on back.
Oh, and Twitch is gonna ask before he leaves that he gets like a whole bunch of tacos for everyone on his way back.
Sure, what do you want? Soy? What do you want? Soy meat or whatever it is? Or do you want, like, the real deal?
I don't care, I just want like 2 dozen tacos.
Like 2 dozen tacos for yourself?
Yeah?
No, how many tacos does everyone else want? Did you even think about everyone else? What they wanted?
No.
Okay.
Cody's gonna laugh. I like her. She's silly. Yeah, I'll take half a dozen. Where do you pack all that anyway, Twitch?
Stomach places.
Okay. I'll just get 4 dozen tacos and we'll be fine. But you're gonna owe me like how many million this is worth.
4 dozen tacos.
Yeah, I need 4 dozen tacos. What?
I've seen worse.
That's great. It's like, what are you, like college or what?
No, you'd be surprised. I've worked in a Taco Bell before, and I've had to make 4 dozen tacos for one person.
For just one, not like a carload, because I was in a SUV with like 6 people. We got like 4 dozen tacos.
It was a guy in a very small economy car. I'm assuming he was picking them up for other people, but 4 dozen tacos is still a shit ton.
It is.
But yeah, I will pick up food. And an amount of food for everyone. Looks like we're having tacos for breakfast, gentlemen.
And lunch.
Yeah, but not for dinner. Twitch will polish them off by then.
Yes.
And with that, we will, in theory, relax in the warehouse. Well, not really relax. Through the morning, we're going into the afternoon, and it's up to Vice's call. Yep, or even outright blocking the son of a bitch. It's up to Vice.
When Conrad calls him, he's just gonna be like, nope. Ignore. He's gonna keep enjoying his tacos.
Well, 3 o'clock hit, and almost on the dot, it'll start ringing. And ringing. And ringing, until you probably put it on silence. And then you'll see that it's ringing, and ringing, and ringing, until 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I want to stop it before that.
Vice, is he still calling you? It's been like 15 hours.
I guess?
So, do you stop it at any time?